everyone, we're going to let f of t equal a cosine of b times a quantity of t minus c, then add g, and t is greater than or equal to 0. And part of the graph is shown, and we're given the information that when t is 3, the maximum value, there's a maximum value of 29. So this is t, not t, but 3 comma 29. And then there's a minimum value here at t equal 9. You want to call that n, you can. This would be 9 comma 15. Find the value of a. So that is your amplitude. So basically, we're going to do our center line, our midline, and find the amplitude. So here we have 3 comma 29 and 9 comma 15. So basically, to get the midline, and you know the characteristic curve of cosine starts at 1 and looks like this for a full wave. So it's something like that. So basically, the midline here is y equals 0. So we need to find the midline here. And to do that, we're going to look at the y part. So that's 29 minus 15 divided by 2. And that equals 14. Divided by 2 equals 7. So basically, this whole length here, from m to n, is 14. So the midline here is going to be y equals 22, because you go down 7, or from here, this is 7, and this is 7. So 29 minus 7 equals 22. And then you could take 22 minus 7 equals 15. So your A equals 7. And now we have to show that B equals pi over 6. So basically your period is 2 pi divided by B. In our case, what we have is we have half of wave from here to here. So we only have half of it. And from 3 to 9, that's 6. So we need to add another 6 to get the full wave. And so that would be 12. So your full period is 12. So you're going to do 12 equals 2 pi divided by B. You cross multiply, you get B equals 12 pi divided by 12, which equals pi divided by 6. All right. And now we have to do transformations. So we're going to do the transformation P is given by a horizontal stretch factor of 1/2, followed by the translation of 3 for your C and negative 10 for your D. So for that one, what we're going to do is look at this. We know that we have f of t equals 7 cosine pi over 6 t minus c. Now minus c here, when we start, usually cosine starts at 1 here. But it's shifted to the right by 3. So this is minus 3 plus, and it's shifted up to the center line at 22. So basically, what you're going to do is take your so basically the value of t is 22 and the value of c is 3. Now for the transformation, we want to take our x. So our x is going to be, we take 3 divided by 1/2, or 3 times 1/2. So that gives you 1.5. So we have 1.5 once you translate this, comma 29. And now what we want to do is translate it from 3. So we're taking 1.5 plus 3 and 29 minus 10. So that gives you 4.5, comma 19. And that will give you that. All right. Now it says the graph of G is the image of F under P. So we have to write out our equation. So basically for your equation, it's just going to be 7, or just put G of T equals 7 cosine of, now when you do your transformation, it's going to look like this. So your M was 4.5, comma 19. So 4.5, comma 19 is here. So that's your M prime. And your N prime is going to be 7.5, comma 5. So right about there. So the graph got translated like this. Now, looking at that, we have to find our B. So if we're looking at M prime is 4.519 and N prime is 7.5, and then I just subtracted 10 from this 15, so that's going to be comma 5. Now to do your B, we're going to notice that the difference here from 4.5 and 7.5 is 3. So 4.5 to 7.5, this is 3. So to get a complete wave, you have to add 3, and that will be 6. So for your B, you're going to get your period equals 2 pi divided by B, but your period is 6. So that's going to be 2 pi divided by B. So you cross multiply, you get B equals 2 pi divided by 6, which equals pi divided by 3. So now what we have is GT equals cosine of pi over 3, and T minus, and now that's going to be 4.5 and plus 12. All right, so remember our center line before was at y equals 22. Remember we did our midline, so this is y equals 22. And then if you subtract 10 from that, you get your 12 here. So that gives you your 12. And then finally, it says the graph of G is the image of the graph of F under P. Now give a full geometric description of the transformation that maps the graph of G back to F. So basically they want you to do the inverse. So remember before what we did, we did a horizontal stretch scale factor of 1/2, followed by the translation of 3 negative 2. So you have to do the opposite, and you also have to go opposite as well. So that what you have to do is you have to do the translation first, which is -3. We're trying to go back. So subtract 3, add 10, and then you do the horizontal stretch. So your horizontal stretch is a scale factor of not 1/2, but of 2. You do the reciprocal, so the inverse. So that's 2. And then you can always check by, if you're taking the IB exam, you can always check to make sure it maps back to our original function, f of t. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.